Hello, how is it going, kiddos? Out there in the universe, and the multiverse, and the metaverse, and uh the
The
verse of the song,
mirror universe.
the mirror universe. In verse one of the song, that's where I want to actually specifically forget all the other verses. Verse one of the song, if you're in there, I'm talking to you specifically. Welcome to a streaming rainbow. We have a great show for you tonight. It's going to get wild. Mothman is joining us all the way from West Virginia or wherever they've flown to record today.
Mountain
Uh,
Mama. That's all we can do.
ooh, that's all we could do. I don't know the rules of that. I've probably broken them already. Uh, my name is Cameron. I'm going to be your DM. I use he, him pronouns. Not only do I play all of the characters, I also play the wind sometimes. That's my little fun fact. Yes, everything
Oh,
else
I
but the
forgot the fun
wind.
fact. Mean.
Hey, one time I played a cow, and that was traumatizing for one of my players. So strap in. Uh,
Wild.
Make sure if you're out there following us to like and subscribe on this YouTube channel that we have here. We're gonna have some Twitch stuff coming out. I don't want to spoilers. Maybe follow us on our Discord. So yeah, follow us on Discord. Follow us on TikTok. Friend us on Facebook if you can find us. We're not on it, but that might be fun. We're on Instagram as well. I think we're on X.
We technically are, but ever
Do we
since
really want to be?
none of us want to be on it anymore, so no. I don't know if anybody's
We
posted on it.
won't post on there, but if you want to talk to us, we'll ignore it.
Shout into the void and maybe we'll see it.
I don't control that account. I don't care. Anyway, yes, that's the net we've cast. That's the net I've cast. So if you're on something, find us. But if you're here now, get ready. This is our third session. Welcome to Guild Phantasmagoria. It's kind of like supposed to be an anthology series. Fun fact: BTS behind the scenes, not the K-pop band. Um, I was trying to roll at the end of every session to like see where in time the story jumped to, and we've pretty much done it chronologically. So if you want to watch it out of order, go ahead. But if you watch it in order, it definitely makes a lot more sense.
I mean, hey guys, put this playlist on shuffle. Go for it. It's in a playlist.
See what it means. It's art. Honestly, everything should be watched out of order. Who cares about spoilers? There's a card.
Or making any kind of sense.
Yeah. Push the boundaries. Avant-garde art is in. Dada expressionism. It's making a resurgence. Has it ever even left? Don't. Hey, look. The BBEG is just a bunch of tin noises and flashing lights.
It's a
and-
urinal that says it's art. Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh. Whoa.
We can't even get into that. We don't have enough time.
Okay. Next game.
The
Next
DM has been
campaign.
triggered.
Oh my god, no, I love okay. So, I like the weird stuff, guys. So that's me. We're getting into it. It's not an anthology, but it could be if you try hard enough. We're starting off with a weird energy already. But this is gonna be a lot of fun, I think. I think I'm just gonna let go of the reins and let somebody else go who wants to introduce himself next.
Who's it? Nose goes.
Oh, that means you're first, actually. You
Okay, great.
pointed to yourself.
I'm fine. I'm Mothman. No, I'm Laura, and I am playing Laura, who is also playing a character called Jonathan. It's not confusing. You guys should get it by now. It's fine.
Or maybe you don't get it by now, and maybe this is the first time you're joining us.
And hey, that's true too, guys. And also, this fits the vibe. Jonathan's also very antagonistic, so sorry about that, but not sorry. Fun fact. I don't have any fun facts. I have so many fun facts that I can't think of a single one. What fun facts do I have?
This is a comedy. That's a fun fact.
Is this a comedy? That's a lie, is what
I
that
have
is.
cried in both previous sessions.
Cake.
I am purely using this campaign as an excuse to buy more onesies because they're for costumes and therefore I've got so many more waiting in the wings, guys. It's great.
Like taxes and stuff. You can just write them off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that when, like, if you write it off on your taxes, that means it's free, right?
Yeah, totally.
No.
I don't
If you're
understand
watching it
taxes.
out-
I'm
If you're
Mothman.
watching out there, that's a lie. That's not
Don't-
true. Don't take any advice that
Kids,
I give.
we are
at
not
all.
financial. We're not financial experts.
We're not.
In fact, I'm a Mothman and don't know anything about money. Goodbye.
It tastes good though. Fibrous.
Mm. Yucky ink. Who's next? We're not okay, guys.
Oh
Sorry.
boy. Wow.
Dealing with
Okay,
the
I'm
trauma of
Sarah.
last time.
And I'm feeling silly, so I think that I'm matching the vibe that's going on here. I'm playing Sarah, and I think that Sarah is playing the Sparrowhawk, and so there's like this train of consciousness that starts with me and goes through Sarah to the Sparrowhawk. I think it's very artistic.
The
We'll
Sarah
get
Hawk.
that way.
She's the Sarah Hawk.
Yes, that's me. What else do I have? I don't know.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Fun fact. I don't know anything about fun facts.
What's your favorite poem?
My favorite poem. I
Yeah.
don't like poetry very much.
What?
And that's
I'm
when we
not-
stop
I'm not a
being
big fan of
friends.
poetry. I don't
Not
get it
even
very
like
easily.
Poe. It's all creepy and cool.
I've just been shot through the heart twice already.
And you're to blame, okay?
And do I give love a bad name? Chains of love got a hold on me.
Love is not love.
When passion's a prison, you can't break free.
All right. So that wasn't a fun fact. That was a devastating fact. But let's move on.
That one
Keeping with
really,
the
I don't know,
theme of
that
the
one,
past
that one really
sessions.
shook me. My favorite poem is The Poison Tree by William Blake.
Mm. That's nice. That's
I-
great.
I
My-
do love.
Snarks.
My dad's
Yeah.
favorite poem was, I don't know who it's by, but it was "My cat is dead," but I've decided not to make a big deal out of it. That's a poem. That was in a book.
That's beautiful. I used to host poetry slams.
We gotta stop. We can't. There's too many tangents. We gotta.
This is important. This is
It's
important.
not.
Our story,
Hey,
our
hey,
story
guys.
is about storytelling. Okay, and if
It
if
is.
we can't tell the story of our lives, what stories can we tell?
Welcome to
Jumping right
Cam's-
in.
the
So,
Cam's next
setting,
campaign.
camera fades
Cam's
in.
next campaign
Yeah,
is
it's-
just therapy, guys.
Yeah, sometimes you can describe D&D sessions like a cinematic movie. think I'm describing this one as the opening to like an indie folk song where it like kind of just like doesn't cut off the beginning of like their conversations before the song starts in Scheherazade LLC. A beautiful
Mindy hasn't
landscape
introduced herself.
in
Wait, there's still me.
Also banjos. Hey, Mindy, how about you introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. I am Mindy, who is only playing one character because I like to keep it simple by, of course, naming her Lady Belizabeth Matilda Catherine Anna Linda Williams III. So, fun fact, I guess, about my life. Come February, I am going to be in a production of Rainbow Fish where I am going to be a puffer fish and a hermit crab.
Oh,
They're little crabby hands. So come on down to Scottish Rite if you want to see it.
snaps. That's a poetry thing, Sarah.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
That's a pretentious beatnik thing, guys.
No, it's
I
not. Okay.
remember in English we had to, in like my junior, senior, it doesn't really matter. But we had to memorize a poem. And just the poem I decided, because I just liked it, was The Raven. And so I memorized it using the Simpsons Halloween special to help me in regards to inflections and things. And I was called first. And so I do it perfectly, acting it out all grandiose. And then the next person who did E.E. Cummings, the plums in the icebox, which is only like 10 lines, he's like, damn it, I don't want to go after that. And then he messed up halfway through. He was so embarrassed.
That's right. It's a true performance. It rocks them to their core. Makes you want to take a seat and just soak in all the art. Let's soak in all this art. Can't believe I almost missed that. I'm sorry I almost skipped you. That was important.
I'm only the hero of the story.
You're
That's
only
all.
Hey, just the tiniest of the roles.
She's just the tiniest background character.
The protagonist
The
and all.
entire story is focused around.
The title of the book isn't I almost said Lady Bethesda.
It's not called that, actually. You'll find.
Yeah. No, the title of the book, Lady Belizabeth, Matilda Catherine, Anna Linda Williams III, is just sitting there. Thank you. I've practiced a lot. Really, just.
What are my
trying to
brothers'
focus on that
names?
book. Percy
Well,
and
Arthur.
something else. Just some other ones.
Arthur
They don't-
Jones.
Have we seen them before? Maybe in a cutscene, huddled around your father, talking about destroying the gnomes. They're all rich assholes.
Percival showed up. Percival, like Nathaniel Edward Williams III, did have a conversation with us, remember? Then he skipped
did.
away.
He did. You did
Flounced.
talk to him. He is
Flounced.
the favorite of the group. Okay, let's not get into the nitty gritty of the story inside the story, for the story must begin before it can tell another one. Ken Burns effects coming across the screen. You see like a giant spire, like the size of the tower in Dubai, almost a mile high. At the top of it, a spinning antenna, but instead of a point, it comes to like a tip of a pencil. Writing the future as it spins around, picking up all kinds of stories from the multiverse. This is Scheherazade, a company laden in the sand, an oasis of the mind and the body, if you are lucky enough to stay, to work, to join the community. Storytellers at Scheherazade live in luxury high-rise apartments. Maybe they share their room with a roommate or 8, but they have a good, solid head on their shoulders, and every day when they go to work, when they clock in and strap into those bookmarkers, they live a whole nother life, or a whole nother multitude of lives. They push the boundaries of the stories that have been told and that are yet to be told. And they explore. Why do you think there's so many renditions of Hamlet? I mean, The Lion King. This particular morning, 2 of our storytellers, Laura and Sera, walk in to their assigned room in the company high-rise tower. They see sitting at a desk, well, not a desk, but more of a like laboratory table, where a not so elaborate meal has been set out, and a very stout, very muscle ridden. That sounds like a disease.
Ridden with muscles.
He's got
ridden
the
with
muscles, he does.
This boy over here, he's got the muscles, bruv. Kind of looks like a boxer. He has cauliflowered ears, a large, like bushy brown beard with like wisps of gray hair. He has like half moon glasses tied to a chain around his neck, sitting on the bridge of his nose, as he reads on his like virtual like glass back tablet where you can kind of like see the screen from behind, and it's like a cool like futuristic tech, hinting that like maybe we're sometime in the future, or maybe just another plane of existence altogether. He's like reading on this tablet, and he has like a full like left arm sleeve of tattoos, uh just like a very intricate but also like geographic and like hard to look at design. um Head is like completely shaven but with like stubble kind of growing in. um and as you walk into this place, uh he looks up at you and kind of like puts down his tablet and hops off of the chair. He stands about like 5'2". Welcome. How is it going? How was your day? Good morning.
It's another day in paradise.
Hey.
Well, it is nice to meet you, early risers. My name is Dr. Edgar Eastman. I will be helping you with the machines today.
Well, thank you,
Any
doctor.
questions? What was that?
Thank you, doctor.
Oh, yeah, you're very welcome. I'm sorry I didn't quite get your names.
Oh, I'm Sarah, and this is
I'm
Laura.
I'm Laura. Are what's a is that other doctor gonna be coming by today? A Dr. E. She helped last time, or what's she up to?
Uh, Laura, was it?
Yeah.
Very nice to meet you both, Sarah, Lara. I gotta say, talking about my co-workers' schedules is against company policy.
Right, cool. No, that's cool. Hey, I got you these flowers. I definitely thought you were gonna be the one here and not her.
Oh,
Here.
really?
Yeah, here you
You
go.
thought you knew I was gonna be here?
I mean, I just figure whoever was helping would be. You have a hard job here. There you go.
Oh,
Flowers
well,
for
thank you so
you.
much. I very much appreciate somebody noticing all the work I do here. These machines don't run themselves, you know.
No, sure don't.
But that's besides the point. You are the real stars here. What are you getting into, risking your lives every single day to bring a little joy to people?
I don't. It's it's wild. I don't know. This is
You look very confused. I will leave you alone. I know it's early in the morning. I know you probably have a lot on your mind. Just let me know when you're ready.
Do you
Kind of
need to
goes
know
back down.
which one we're doing?
Oh, it's on
Doctor
your.
E did. Oh,
It's on
did
your. Should be on your chart.
has it
I
always
just
been on our
hadn't.
chart? Did we just
I
get?
can. He kind of goes over to one of the bookmarkers and takes off a clipboard and flips through it. Yes, Sarah and Laura, your Lady Belizabeth, Matilda, Catherine, Anna Linda Williams III. It's right here.
I look at Sarah and go, "Was she fucking with us the whole time?" Is it? She goes all that shit about not knowing the full name. Did she know it the whole time?
I think she
Also,
did.
it's usually set. Usually everything should be set up before I get here, just so
Cool.
that you can get here earlier and like come look through the stories.
Wild.
Are you? Is this your first time?
No.
Obviously not your first time. Just like your first story to experience.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
makes sense. Makes sense. Usually takes a like 2 to 3 to kind of get the hang of it, or so I'm told. Never actually been inside of one of the machines myself.
No? Oh.
Want to come in? Want to join us?
Oh, I'm not. That's against. Oh,
right.
you're good. That's a good one. That's a good one. Almost got me. Almost got me. Oh, yeah. Don't want to. Yeah.
Cool.
But
Yeah.
you
I'll
thought
Here's
just.
about
the
it,
one.
didn't you?
Yeah, you kind
You
of
did
want to.
one.
I'm like backing up and like getting in and like
Of course, hey, but you know what? Not everyone is qualified. That is why I became a doctor.
Don't like
But
this guy.
for a second, you wanted to, and that's a thought crime.
Of course, I think everybody here wants to. I was kind of born into the system. Just, you know, like y'all are the real. Like it's like like when they, it's like being one of those like influencers, like how that used to be, like a big thing, and everybody wanted to do that. And just not everybody has the personality for it, you know.
We do have a lot of personality. Thanks. Thanks, Edgar Eastman.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to say my full name when you talk to me. Edgar's fine.
I don't fuck you, StreamYard. I don't care. I'm gonna give all the high fives. That's a joke only for people in this green room who don't understand how mirrored cameras work. And that's me. Go on. Sorry, Edgar Eastman, doctor.
Oh no, you're absolutely everything is totally fine. Yeah, I can see you're a little nervous. Um, you know, everything is. I'm not weirded out at all.
That's good.
Enjoy your flowers.
Thank you. I appreciate it. What I don't. What kind are they?
Fake ones.
Yeah, I know.
It's the desert.
I can tell. There's not unless you wanted to go out into the desert to pick some of the. Yeah.
I mean, really, the black roses really do it for me.
Black rose. I haven't seen a rose in a long time.
I
I
think
don't
it's
know
a
a lot
rose.
about flowers.
That was what
Could
it
be
was
a
called on the.
daffodil. I've read a lot of about flowers. I don't think I've actually seen them
I think this one's a
in person
poinsettia.
before. A poinsettia.
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting. You know, I heard a lot of those around like the Judeo-Christian religion are kind of like a symbol of like a what was it, like somebody was like rebirthed or um born
Religion's weird,
under a
right?
star,
Wild.
under like a three-sunned planet. One of the a child was born and ushered in a new age of cult-like behavior. And yeah, sorry, talking a lot. You get to it. Very nice to meet you, Laura, Sarah.
Bye.
Peace.
See you on the other
Peace and love.
side.
Oh, you ready to go now?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Strap it in.
Okay.
Great.
go.
Yeah. No planning whatsoever about what you're gonna do. I respect that.
Laura and I, we have a connection in our
Yeah.
brains that will.
Oh, you're roommates. You have the psychic link that opens the completely understand.
Right.
And they were roommates.
Was
Nothing.
that
You're good.
I'm
Well, no,
I'm-
I was agreeing with you. We're roommates.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you just said it in a way like it was like a reference that I probably missed. And then you told me I was good because I didn't understand and was trying to clarify.
No.
No, okay, of course, absolutely. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so let me just put these black bags over your head. And he sits you down and puts the black canvas bags over your head. And Mindy, if you would take off those headphones, the next part is a little bit of a secret. As this bag of black canvas falls over your head, the holographic words start to appear in the dark space. Your senses are numbed. All you see in front of you in this blue text is the next chapter in the story of Lady Belizabeth, Matilda, Catherine, and Alinda Williams III. In the heart of Grimshire, where shadows dance among ancient oaks and whispers linger in the mist, lay a town of innovation and tragedy. Here, the cogs of fate turn slowly, winding their way through the lives of its crooked community. Lady Belizabeth's construction stands like a dormant child, a testament to dreams half realized. Its design beckons for the heavens, but progress has been halted. The air still stained with the smell of smoke and oil. Joseph's memory looms in the midst of his mangled workshop, a sorrowful expression etched on the face of the Grimshire woods. The enchantment, a testament to the surviving Thistle Spring, holds strong on the flight craft. But the hopes and the dreams that used to cling to every inch of its design are every much as incinerated as the rest of the workshop. Eleanor Gray has been hard at work ever since her anonymous reporting of the gnomes brought the hammer of Lord Williams III. Even without Belizabeth's help, she was able to construct most of the centrifuge she needed to complete her elixir. Presently, Gray sits from afar, watching the broken inventor amidst the destruction. While she has made some progress on her elixir, no one but Belizabeth can help her now. One way or another, Gray will get the lady to finish what she started. In the ruined gnomish settlement, the two women meet. Fire meets flame. Anger and passion wielded as weapons wound the fierce combatants in their feud. Ultimately, the professor gives the lady a choice. Help me finish my elixir, then we vanish from each other's lives for good. Or look around you, Belizabeth. This was only a taste of the pain I can cause you if I don't get what I want. Don't make me hurt you anymore. I'm not a monster. With raucous laughter, Belizabeth turns towards the exit, and without another word absconds into the brisk night. Refused again, an unsurprised Eleanor Gray writes a note that will mark the beginning of the end for our noble inventor. Semi-arid regions of central East Australia are home to the Oxyuranus microlepidatus. Their bite is the death sentence of an adult male 100 times over. When the venom shocks your system, your body is racked with nausea and pain as you are quickly ushered into a stone-like paralysis before it allows you to die. One of the deadliest venoms known to the scientific community and a key ingredient in Professor Gray's elixir. A storm frames the ending of Lord Percival Blakely Raphael Edward Williams III. His tale shorter than it should be, but just long enough to leave a meaningful impact. Thunder, howling winds, ozone scents the night. In the midst of it all, Lord Percy lying unconscious in their family's courtyard. Elizabeth is awakened to the chill in her bedroom as the long frames of the casement window crack open. Gray, on her balcony, transformed by her unfinished tonic, looms in the wet darkness like a nightmare wrought from the most horrific of dreams. Last chance, she shouts. Her voice is a foghorn cutting through a tempest. Finish what you started. Watch everyone you love, everything you live for, rip from your grasp. Gray steps into the bedchamber of the lady and throws down an unsealed letter. You shall find that I wrote you a compelling confession, poisoning your dear brother for exposing your secrets and punishing your father for killing your teacher in one fell swoop. Now that is positively inspired. She sneers as she pulls out a syringe of foaming yellow venom. Let me make this clear, Lady Williams. I get what I want, or I will watch your world burn. In a flash of rage and loathing, Belizabeth charges at the hulking monster to try and retrieve the venom, but the enhanced might of the professor easily overwhelms her. With a roar, Gray throws Belizabeth off the balcony into the storming courtyard. Covered in mud, blood, and freezing rain, the lady lay helplessly on the soggy, dead grass. Her brother stirs in the darkness, now only a few dozen feet away. Like a flash of lightning, the hulking form of the professor appears. The next 6 seconds lasted for what seemed like hours to Belizabeth. 1. Eleanor fell from the sky over the body of her oldest brother. 2. The monster dragged Percy closer. 3. The flash of the venom in the glass syringe. 4. The thin needle piercing the soft flesh of Lord William's neck, sealing his fate. 5. Gray tossing the twitching, blistering body towards his sister. 6. Lady Belizabeth, Matilda, Catherine, and Alinda Williams III watches Percy struggle to breathe as his whole body seizes and clenches with paralysis. The light gone from her brother's eyes, Lady Williams looks up. She's alone. She is all alone. Morning comes as she holds the body of her brother. The professor's plan, while devious, proved unable to hold water as Belizabeth recounts the night's events to her family. Percy is buried. The town mourns. Years pass. Eleanor has been run out of town and is currently wanted for the murder of Lord Percival Williams III. Her plots of revenge twisted her into something unrecognizable. Her dreams crushed. She sundered her lab and destroyed her research in a fit of rage. Lady Belizabeth eventually went back to work on her flight craft. Brendan, her guiding light, helped her as her partner and muse. It is Brendan's tenacity and loving support that convinced Belizabeth to throw herself into her work. To prove her flight craft's resilience, the lady planned to mount an expedition to the Arctic and fly in the extremes of the vast icy desert. Pain has a nasty habit of sticking around. Sometimes it bides its time and waits patiently, ready to strike you at your weakest. It feeds on weakness. It finds cracks in your armor and seeps into your core. It is a darkness that corrupts the soul, a stain that never comes out. Running to the ends of the earth seems to be the perfect escape from it, or at least it could act as a distraction. But even at the end of the world, our pain grows to consume us. Everything goes black. Lady Belizabeth, you stand. You smell smoke. You smell oil. Bent metal, charred wood, waste, trash, dust. It has been months, but still this place haunts you. Like the memory of Zosif just won't die here. Your craft, the flight craft, stands like a monolith, a testament to Brendan's expertise. It doesn't seem to have a scratch on it. Still, even out here in the cold, through the weather, through the fire, through the months, it is not finished. No, it is not finished. Or at least that's what you tell yourself. The gnomes have scattered. Brendan still finds his way back to the town. Tries to visit every once in a while, or at least leave a letter if he can't find you in the moment.
But there is a distance between them.
Yeah. Yeah. Grief changes people. But then again, everything changes people. Not a lot of thoughts left. But it's just like the memory can't die here.
The memory of Zosif? Of course not. The memory of her dreams? That is questionable as to whether she deserves to have them at all.
Hope and dreams. An interesting topic. I mean, looking at the wreckage here, you see the one thing that draws your eye, the pristine thing, the flight craft, the thing that fucking survived. It's missing a couple of parts. Hopes and dreams are just as important in the tool belt as anything else you have.
She looks back at where Zosif's grave is. She comes here regularly, secretly, to make sure that it is kept, to make sure that there are flowers. It's the only thing she can think of to do. And each time she has looked at that machine with both a sense of hatred, longing, betrayal, she blames herself for everything.
You come here often.
As often as I can, which is harder now.
Have you changed anything?
Other than the grave, no.
Then, with a passive investigation of 18, I think you notice that a tool is missing.
What tool?
Well, based on where it is placed, it looks like a multi-tool.
Is
And
there
it makes
still the
sense.
multi-tool on his grave? Because I placed it as a marker.
There is, yes, the grave is intact, but in the workspace, almost everything else was burnt up by the fire. But you know that magical items, magical tools, are resilient to damage. And it looks like maybe one of those surviving tools. You've seen it every single time you've come here. You notice everything. This used to be your workshop. It's gone.
So either Brendan took it, in which case there's a bit of light in her heart that she quickly stamps because she feels she doesn't deserve it. Or Eleanor stole it. And that cannot stand. It doesn't matter that it's just a tool. It's Joseph's tool. She took him. She's not taking any more.
What do you do in this moment?
I look up at the machine for the first time with an anger that feels resolve. And I take out my multi-tool that I have not touched. I've held onto it. It has been with me, but I have not actively used it since that day. And I take it out. And I'm like, let's finish this. And I find those missing pieces and I finish that machine.
And as you get the resolve to do this, you grab your multi-tool, you touch the machine, you hear from behind you, well, finally.
Is it a voice I recognize?
It's a voice you hate.
It was her. I turn around.
I'm glad you found the resolve to work again.
Give me a reason why I should not kill you where you stand.
A reason? No, I don't think I will. You and I, we share something now.
I suppose we do. I ruined your life, albeit inadvertently. And so you struck out in your revenge. You took away everything intentionally. And you know what? I suppose as a lady and a noble, I should accept an eye for an eye, a lie for a lie, and be done with it. And I point to Joseph's grave and I go, but what did the Thistle Springs do? What did the gnomes do? All the Thistle Springs did was help you. And yet you took from them far more than you ever did from me, and for that you cannot be forgiven.
Elizabeth.
Do
All of
not
this could have
address me
been
as though I am a
avoided.
friend. All of it could have been avoided. How exactly? going along with your mad scheme? Stopping lightning from shooting from the sky? How exactly could this have been prevented?
Mad scheme. Lady Williams, you have created a device that on its own allows us, mere mortals, to grasp for the sky. You looked at me and what I have created, and you thought that too far-fetched.
I thought it
Well, I thought
immoral.
that you needed a little more grounding in reality.
And so you caused a genocide.
My
Well done.
pursuit is more important than the lives of a few gnomes. We could save
whatever I am holding,
civilizations.
like a piece of metal, I snap it in half at that statement.
Fine. You do not have to enjoy me. You do not have to like me. But help me finish my elixir, and then we vanish from each other's lives for good. Or, look around you, Belizabeth. This, all of this, is only a taste of the pain I can cause you if I don't get what I want. Don't make me hurt you anymore. I am not a monster.
I walk straight up to her and go, not all monsters are deformed, but in your case, your soul is represented in your face. And I walk right past her. You can burn in hell for all I care. And I walk out.
And you leave her there.
She can't destroy my machine. Everything else already is.
It's the truth. And you walk away, you get on your horse, and you ride back to the estate. And for the next couple of weeks, what do you do?
I go through the motions of court, do what is the bare minimum of being present in order to keep my father at bay. And when I have moments alone, probably in the darkest, deepest of nights. No, not necessarily then. But one of the things that I am doing is I am finding out about the lands in the cities nearby. Specifically, if there are any forests that might be for sale.
Okay. Why don't you roll me an investigation check?
Dirty 20.
I think with the dirty 20, you find that this forest, this land that your father bought, he didn't buy it. from the person who owned it. I think with a little work, the closest forest that you could purchase is the one that your father sunk a bunch of money into.
So so the land deal is void.
I think that's probably a conclusion you can come to. Now, it would take a little more like greasing of wheels and wetting of palms.
That is exactly what I'm going to do.
Okay, that might take a little bit.
I have time.
But well, let's figure out how much time you have. First of all, I need you to give me a persuasion check. Now, um, I'm going to I'm going to set a couple of DCs for this persuasion check. If at a 10 DC, you will get to roll a die 100, and that will tell you how many days it will take to accomplish your task. Every 5 more points, every 5 more on the increment up of the scale that you hit. So if you get a 15, then that D100 will go to a D20. And then if you get 10 above, if you get a 20, then that die 20 will turn into a die 12, and then a die 10, and so on and so forth, the higher you can get. And then we will roll and see how many days it will take you to complete your task.
Oh, I'm using the luck point there. No, absolutely not. This is
And I say days, I probably mean like it's probably going to be weeks, not days.
That's fine. There we go. Much better. That's a nat 20. So I go from a nat 1 to a nat 20.
Okay, so with a nat 20, you'll jump a die, so automatically we'll start at a die 20, and then give
Oh.
me your what is that total?
Okay, so with a D100 plus
No,
20,
no,
is
no,
that
no,
what
no.
you're
So
saying?
what is the total persuasion check? Like
Oh,
nat 20
for
plus bonus.
persuasion, 22.
A 22. Okay, so that will give you a 20 is 10 above the DC. So that would knock you down 2 die, but if we're starting at a D20, be a D12 and then a D10. So roll a D10 for me.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm trying to read this. I hit the book. Ah, no. Stop it. That's a 10.
A 10. So it will take a couple of months. It'll take about 10 weeks, almost 3 months, but you feel confident that at the end of those 10 months, this forest, the Grimshire Woods will be yours.
As well as getting any kind of documents that show the shady nature of this deal.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, obviously,
Was
the
it
thing is,
intentional on my father's part to be shady?
um, roll, roll, give me a history check with advantage.
Okay. No. 18.
Your dad's a moron. He didn't do this. He told somebody to do this. And it was done as fast as possible by somebody who was scared of a man who didn't care what corners were cut. Like this, that's how things get done around. Like your dad can't do anything for himself. He always has people to do things for him because of his authority.
Okay, so it was an intentional
it wasn't
deviousness,
intentional, but
malicious
that all like there's that like con that like no, your dad is not like that like bad in that sense, like has not committed that sin, that crime. But the silver lining is he probably has no fucking clue.
which means he can be humiliated.
Yes. You can get all the documentation and get everything set up for this. The unfortunate reality of it is you don't have your own money. So you'd have to come up with some way to be a little shady yourself. Or you'd have to get married.
I take that to the Sparrowhawk.
Ooh. Okay.
You are a privateer, are you not?
I certainly am, milady.
Sarah, you instantly wake up in this conversation.
Mm. Yes. In order to carry out what I need to do, I need money. Money that is tied in with my father, and therefore I do not have access to.
I see.
But you are a privateer. You are adept at means of obtaining profit in not the most noble of ways, I guess.
I do love hearing your thoughts dance around, attempting to find words that won't offend.
Well, if it is all right to speak freely,
Of course.
I need a pirate who can get me a lot of money rather quickly. I have been raised in court. I do not know the ways of, well, that is not exactly true. There are so many backbiters and gossips. It's easy to get in the bad graces of people from a blackmail standpoint, but I do not know how effective that will be, especially since I am under much bigger scrutiny than I was before.
Milady, give me a number.
What number do I give her?
Well, give me I don't know how. Were phones? When were phones invented? Plus we're in a magical fantasy realm. So
Yeah, what's the value of a wood, Cameron?
let me do some research, okay? Who are you gonna call?
Five
How much is the
guinea.
number? Oh,
I'll
I
take
don't know what I
I'll
thought
take
phone number.
500 guinea.
10,000 florins.
How much is a forest?
I think we're getting into poetry again.
Guys, how much
1,700.
how much is a forest?
Whoa.
Man.
Year 1,700.
Inflation, carry the two. This is like when Cam said, I'm going to run a car into a police station, and I had to figure out how much damage flying through a windshield would. I don't know.
Probably a fair amount, I would guess.
Damage for. Oh, yeah, he went down. And then popped right back up again.
Okay, I found a cost. Now let's see. Forest size, acre. Awesome.
Sarah, roll for pirating. Pirating check.
So we don't want a national forest.
No, we don't.
No, really
That's
a community
That's a
forest.
little too big. Okay. So about 5,000 acres at about 500 gold an acre.
Oh, that's a lot of gold.
That is a lot of gold, but
Can you just plant a flag?
2.5 million gold. That's
How rich is your dad? Jesus.
MBD, bro.
Right?
He makes
Yeah, how
Yeah.
rich is my dad that he could pay off this
12
person's beginning?
2,000 a year.
5 million gold.
Oh,
Let
Mr.
me see if my
Darcy.
math was correct. Was that correct?
That means I'm freaking loaded.
I mean, you
He's
are.
only a general. He's not like a
No,
prince.
he's a lord, though. He's in
I
the.
mean, he's a lord, but he's not
titled
like
gentryman.
upper class lord. He's not
Wouldn't
like
you-
the
Oh, okay.
king's
Well,
bro.
okay. So here's the thing. So like a gold is like roughly like if we think of it like parallel to our world, like a gold, like saying I have a gold is like saying I have $100.
Mhm.
So, let me.
I has a gold.
Okay, so it would be like 25,000 gold,
Much more.
That's better.
not 2.5 million gold.
Right.
Yes, which is still 2.5 million copper.
How many
I'll
platinum?
try not to gather it in copper form.
Platinum, it would be 250 platinum.
There you go. Just find 250 platinum. No big deal.
Yeah.
And I will aid you in any way I can, Sparrowhawk.
Lady, you can rely on me.
Can you pay me in platinum?
Yeah, we can cut all of that
I-
out.
No,
Yeah.
leaving it. No, just kidding. I probably will cut it.
All right, so the Sparrowhawk immediately departs from there to begin working with her
Pirating?
associates.
The Sparrowhawk goes off on a pirating adventure.
Yeah.
Before she goes, I do say, however you need me. I know I am a noble lady, but I do not wish to be put on the sidelines. This is personal. It is powerful, and I wish to be a part of it. And I have means of getting around, I guess, that people may not expect. And they're back at the workshop. I just need to get it.
Milady, are you proposing going on a fit of piracy with me?
Well, it's better than sitting around being told how to drink your tea
It is so much better.
and being pestered into men you do not wish to have around you.
I shall show you a life so grand and full of people that you do want to have around you, except when they're really drunk. That
I
you
do not
care
wish
not
it.
for this life anymore.
No. While I appreciate the offer, I only need this one time. And there's also only one I wish to be around anyway.
Milady, I meet you at
Sparrowhawk.
the docks.
Indeed.
Okay, the Sparrowhawk. She go off on this bit of piracy.
Mm-hmm.
It takes. You know what? Let's do the same thing. Roll me an intimidation check.
Intimidation. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, same thing. We'll see how much piracy you can get done. DC 10, roll a D100 to see, and we'll do days for this one.
Gotcha. So
And what I am offering is that I will help with your piracy with the flying machine.
ooh,
Ooh,
That's what I meant when I said I have it in the workshop.
got it.
Very
Okay.
Wild.
Well, if she gives you help with her flying machine, first of all, make me a tinker tool check. See how useful that flying machine is.
I figure coming down from above. No. That's what the luck is for. Wait, can I get advantage because I'm with Sparrowhawk's navigation and such in presence?
How is Sparrowhawk going to help you?
I don't know. I was grasping at straws.
And also, Sparrowhawk could help you, but she would give you her tinker tool check, which is, I
Gotcha.
believe, just intelligence.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like D20 plus proficiency, which is 18.
18. You
Yes.
only had to beat a 15.
Sweet.
So with that, like it is just in like the right place. Like flying over a boat or like flying off of a ship, not a hard task.
I want them to think that this is like a monster. This is a man bat. This is a creature to
And how-
intimidate and fear them.
And however you use that, the Sparrowhawk will depend on your intimidation check, which you now have advantage on.
Okay. And I'm going to use commanding presence and expend a die for that.
Superiority die.
Superiority die, yeah.
Okay.
So first of all, there's my rather poor roll, but let's add. What is my superiority die?
A D10 or something.
I'm not
Might
sure
be
where to find that on
D12.
my sheet. D6. So not so
Okay.
helpful, but still.
Hey, you could still get a 25.
Yeah. So 3, so 22.
22. Okay. So with 10 above the DC, you're going to drop you 2 down. So that will be a D12.
All right. D12. Here we go. 9.
9. So it takes you 9 days. A fierce pirate, an elaborate ruse involving a machine that takes off into the air and maybe glows a little bit. I don't know. How do you use the flying machine?
I figure that these attacks would be done in ways of like somewhat inclement weather, darkness,
Mm-hmm.
using that as an advantage. I want this thing to be essentially a shadowy monster, that there is something hovering overhead that is swooping in and out, potentially going to destroy bits of the
Mhm.
ship. Maybe at some point she like tears some of the sails as she flies by, as like this is a creature that it's like this is a creature that the Sparrowhawk has tamed to attack however she feels. So if you want to avoid destruction, give me your loot.
From now on, the Sparrowhawk is known as Captain Sparrowhawk, the Ghost Tamer.
I like it.
Stay away from her. That
No,
ship
Brenda.
has ghosts.
No, Brandon, what are you doing here?
Is it a moth or a man?
It's both.
It's both, man.
It's both. Okay. So, 9 days, 8 nights at sea, inclement weather, in the middle of the night. On the last raid, you get all the gold you need. In fact, you stockpile 100,000 gold pieces. So you got a little left over. It's good to be paid. Liz Duncan. This night, a cold autumn night in the midst of October, as you pull into dock, you make your way on horseback, small carriage behind you carrying the massive amount of money that you have. You sense, as all good captains do, the change in the weather. A cold front kicks up. The smell of petrichor wafts. Electricity, that metallic taste on your tongue as you ride towards the estate in Grimshire. Massive bolt of lightning stretches from ground to heavens directly in front of you. Make a dexterity saving throw. Say an 11. An 11. You just narrowly miss as you yank your horse to the left. The bolt chars the ground where you stood. Thunder is close. The storm picks up. Now you feel droplets splattering against your face. They are cold. They are large. They hurt. But you gallop. You move. Is there anything you do in this moment as you make your way to the manor?
I do my best to keep my horse calm and stay as close to the cart behind me as I can,
Okay.
so that it doesn't get out of my view.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh God. Yeah, that's a 2.
A 2.
That's a 2.
This is why you need luck points.
A tree in the distance catches fire as your horse draws closer to this burning inferno. In the wind, in the rain, it rears its hind legs and tries to buck you off. Make another dexterity saving throw.
I hate horses. 16.
You stay on, but the carriage cracks and breaks. The horse charges forward, leaving all of your treasure behind, and you come across a frightening scene. In the distance, you see what looks like snowfall blanketing the entirety of the courtyard of the Williamses. The estate itself looks fine, but the grounds, as you get closer, the trees are white and almost like formless, like somebody has etched them there with some lead or some charcoal. Uh, charcoal. And there's also static, the shifting of the white and the black. like it is the rain itself. You also see two figures. One, a large, hulking monstrosity. The other, a very like slight, tall, lanky, young man. You can't really tell whom it is, being this far away, but it seems like they are having a discussion. Well, less of a discussion and more of a confrontation. Why don't you roll a perception check for me and roll with disadvantage just because of the storm going on.
All right.
Don't forget my money.
Perception check and with disadvantage. Come on, do the disadvantage thing. Sorry, D&D Beyond is being annoying.
A fickle mistress.
Indeed. There we go. Okay, so perception. Yes.
Yes, a perception check.
There, finally. Okay. 9.
9. Still hard to make out. It's weird, like the static, this weird like black and white is really messing with your perception. Uh but as you are kind of like your horse is trotting into the space, um this large looming creature um raises its hands over its head and smashes down onto the frame of this male figure. Um, they then start to move towards the estate. Um, they're they are in like the gated area, so they're in the courtyard, and you see uh, there's a a window, two like like two very like large. Let me see what they're called. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Yeah, these like large like French casement windows. Um, and you see that there's like a oil lantern or like a candle or something lighting the inside of this room, and this creature looks up at it as you are galloping closer and closer and closer. The wind surging through your hair, rain pelting your face, making it hard to see. But you swear that this thing jumps 20 feet into the air and clamps onto the side of the building and starts to climb towards the window, towards the balcony.
Where am I during all of this?
Lady Belizabeth, it is a dark October evening. In your bedchamber, you lit a couple of candles. The rain is pelting your large French casement windows that lead out onto your balcony. You
I
have a
have been looking through all of my sketches and journals to try and find the piece of paper that I gave to Jonathan, but for some reason, nothing is missing.
That is wild. Your large bed is covered in all of these papers and notes. Your room is large and quiet. It's a beautiful room. It is lavish. You're searching, lost in thought, and then all of a sudden the walls shake, not like thunder, but like something has hit, like a cannonball hitting the side of a ship. The glass in the windows shakes and rustles. The two frames, the panels, move on their hinges, almost coming apart if they weren't locked. What do you do?
I run to see what that is. I don't open the window, but I go out to see.
Out in the courtyard, it is dark. It is hard to see. Make a perception check with disadvantage.
Oh, right, disadvantage. Dang it. 11.
11. You don't see anything that made this noise. Like there's like outside of your window, it's a pretty simple view. You see there's a large couple of trees. There's a couple uh of rocks, like a well-kept lawn, not a lot of foliage from your view, but there is like just like the stables are in the distance, so you can see the fencing for that.
Are
But you
the
also
Can I
see
tell if like the horses in the stable are going crazy? Or is it too far
they're
away?
always going. They always go crazy. Like that
Oh,
just
okay.
adds to the cacophony of the night. Thunder, pelting rain, whinnying horses in the background, people screaming. Like you can like see like dotted flames in the distance of like fire in like the farm towns. Because people like have to batten down the hatches. It's a hell of a storm.
Would that
You
boom be would I have noticed it connected to thunder, or is it like this is something else?
It was something else. It
Okay.
didn't sound like the thunder because like you were lost in thought, like used to the thunder and the rain and like the white noise that was outside. But this shook everything. And maybe it was thunder, but it was discerning enough that you got up and you
Right.
went to the window. But you're not really thinking any of that now because there's a body in the middle of your courtyard
Oh.
laying on the ground. It looks to be dead, unconscious at best.
So that I run out of my room and go towards uh, my brothers, Percy, Tarthur. I'm going to them.
As you get to your door, you hear that sound again. It shakes your room, and you hear glass shatter from behind you as your window explodes.
Running as fast as I can, not even looking back, because like that kills you.
Make a
So-
dexterity saving throw.
Oh, because I'm so great at text. Oh, not bad.
Okay. So that is a 19.
A 19. You make it out of the room. You do not turn around. You make it to whose bedroom do you come upon first?
Whichever one's is closer. So Percy, why not?
Okay. You go to Lord Percival's room, and the door is shut. A large wooden door. It is locked. You try to open it.
Then I run to Tarthur's.
Okay, you run to Tarthur's room. It is unlocked. It is cracked open. You see that there is like a dwindling candle on the bedside. It's fairly late at night, but you see like the slumbering visage of your brother Tarthur Edmund Charles William Williams III laying in his bed, fast asleep.
I go and I shake
He
his
is like splayed out.
Of course he is. I go over and I just like shake him.
Let me make a
Toffa.
Constitution save. Uh, what?
that something is attacking the manor. We need to get out. There's a dead man in the courtyard. Something exploded my window. We need to go.
Elizabeth.
Don't.
Oh,
We
you're
need
so
to
loud.
go.
Let
Look,
me.
I don't care how much you have drunk the night before and how hungover you are now. I don't even know. I ran with the explosion. We have to go. There is
Oh.
danger.
Whoa. Make an intimidation check or a persuasion check. Either one.
Yeah, I'm -1 intimidation.
Oh my god.
15.
This
No,
drunk
16.
motherfucker.
16.
This drunk motherfucker got a natural 20.
Damn it, Tarthur!
I will be there in a second. I have a lady friend over, and just to say that I got drunk the night before is quite an understatement or a misstatement because I am quite
While
feeling
he's
in my guts right now.
monologuing, I take the key to his room and I run and I lock the door behind me. Like I run out of his room, lock it so he is locked inside.
Hey. You hear screaming and like rattling of the door and banging on the door. Where are you running?
Where am I running? Certainly not to father. Further into the house, maybe to get out.
Okay.
So like down whichever door, through the kitchens, through the wherever is an exit.
Yeah, you snake your way through the corridors and you make it out into the courtyard. You hear the howling of wind. You see in the distance there is a black horse that somebody is like trying to like contain to ride, but it is whinnying and is having a hard time in the wind and in the storm. You see in the nightgown of your older brother, Percival Blakely, Rathaniel Edward Williams III, like laying in the courtyard, just unconscious, a wound like gushing of blood over his head.
Oh, I go to him and I am casting my. Do I have anything better than healing word? I don't, but I'm going to cast healing word. All I have is a second level healing word, which gives him
2d4 plus 5. It's not a lot, but at least he's not unconscious anymore.
Jonathan, you wake up to somebody trying to enter the room.
Mm-hmm.
The door is locked like it normally is when Percy leaves. But somebody rustles
Knew
with the
it
door,
was your boyfriend.
knocks on the door, and then is gone.
Oh.
It is night. It is raining.
sweet. So yeah, I gave him
13 points of healing to Percival, which is the most that I can give him.
Who are you? Elizabeth.
Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. I give him even more. No, I'm right. Yeah, we have to go. We are in danger. I locked Tarthur in his room. Hopefully that'll help, but we have to leave.
I know that thing. It attacked me.
Yeah, thing.
It was looking for you, Elizabeth.
Did it look like a lizard?
I don't. It was very large and scary.
Well, we'll deal with that later. Come on. And
No, I can't leave. I can't leave him.
No, you have to.
Percival's in there. I'm sorry. Jonathan's in there.
Jonathan can take care of himself.
He's my best pal.
Jonathan is locked in your. I don't even know where he is. He's in your room. Did you lock the door behind him?
I always locked the door behind him.
Well, he's as safe as Tarthur is. We need to get going.
Does
like so your view is very different like from his. You Belizabeth are facing outward into the courtyard, looking at this tree. He is facing towards the estate, and he points at the estate. And as you turn around, you see these large, like, holes in the side of the house, like somebody has punched, and like climbed up onto your balcony. I really don't think a door is going to stop them.
You're right. It won't. Find somewhere to hide. And I run off to the stables to get a horse. And I ride back. Eleanor, it's me you want, so come and get me. And I ride away to get her away from the house.
You ride away to get her away from the house. Okay. Jonathan, what are you doing?
So I wake up, lots of noise, groggy. Is there a big old
Mhm.
hole in the wall of this bedroom that I'm in?
Not to this bedroom, no.
Okay, this hers. Okay,
Yes. Your window does not face the courtyard.
got it. Okay. Do I? Well, then, so I probably don't hear anything.
Oh no, you hear like the knocking of the door, and then you also hear like lumbering footsteps after that. Like there is something like running at a fast pace that is very large through the halls.
Okay. All right. Oh, that darling man has locked me in, hasn't he? Yeah, he gets up and pulls on the briefest amount of clothing he can. He's going fast, but is there? He wouldn't have been able. The door was locked. Is there a way to get out of a window?
You are on the first floor, and you
Oh.
have like the same like casement windows that can open.
Oh, did since I woke up into this, do I have any recollection of being told anything before Percy had left?
Roll a history check.
Come on, history. That is a 21.
He had heard something in the by the gates, but like in the courtyard.
Okay. So after Jonathan tries the door, he's like, I'm not gonna fight this fucking door. So he's gonna go out the window.
Make
The
a perception check.
Oh yay, let's go. Perception. I'm not as good at this as other things. That is a 15.
With a 15, as you turn to face the large window, you hear from the other room the breaking of glass, and almost like a blur, you see a large, like hulking figure run past the window.
The fuck. Right. Okay. Yeah, he just I think as he doesn't know how to get out of the room, so he's just gonna go out the window. He's gonna try
Okay.
to so he's going out the window. And so I saw the blur. As I look that way, do I see I didn't see I haven't seen Eleanor. Jonathan hasn't seen Eleanor in this form yet, necessarily.
Yeah, I don't believe you have.
Yeah, so I just see some hulking, creepy, awful thing.
Yeah, so you are the northward facing window. And as you exit, you turn to your right, and you see this hulking thing moving towards a stable.
A hulking thing moving towards the stable. Okay. I am going to. How far away is it from me?
So it moves. Now I gotta look at D&D mechanics. D&D mechanics. D&D mechanics.
And while you're doing your singing song, in order to not waste one of my 2 second level spell slots, I'll cast Healing Word at a first level instead. So
Proud of you.
take away
Okay.
1d4, so he only got 9.
Okay.
Still, he's up.
They are about 60 feet away from you.
They're about 60 feet away. Okay.
Mhm.
As I'm running and swearing up a storm, I I'm going to. That's so tempting. He's going to reach out and cast some magic, y'all. He's going to rummage around in his like pants pocket and pull out a little chip of mica and start doing hand motions, and he is going to yell and cast Shatter at first level. And that's this probably won't help anything, but it's a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
18.
Okay. Hey, they got a 17.
All right. Okay. So, just even above the complete raucousness of this storm, an extra loud ringing just.
What level did you cast this at?
Sorry, second.
Second level? Okay.
Sorry, it's not a first level, so it has to be second. The lowest level I can do it at.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, so that is going to be, let's do some damage. Baby, it's not good. It's only 7 of and that is thunder damage. So
7 thunder damage. Okay.
and I'm just trying to see if there's so that's it. So yeah, he does that and then keeps running towards the stable.
So you cast a spell, you start to run. As you cast Shatter, your booming voice echoes and cuts through the rain, but the moment you step outside, everything goes fuzzy. Everything turns white and paper-like, except for this monster, except for Professor Gray. You cast Shatter on her. And just an explosion of sound. You see it as it like disrupts the rain, and also disrupts the static. It also disrupts the static. It propels this monstrous Eleanor forward, and they leap over the fence and go into the stable with the rest of their movement. You can move 30 feet that way, and you move 30 feet towards the stable.
Yeah.
Lady Belizabeth, your plan to get a horse, ride into the middle of the courtyard, and scream at Eleanor. As you get into the stable, all of the horses are going absolutely buck wild. Can you make me an animal handling check?
Get to my thing. Great. Ooh, that is not. Do I want to? No, I'll save my luck for this one. That's an 8. That's
With
not.
an 8, you are having trouble like even getting close to these horses. They stand up on their hind legs. It is a cacophony of whinnying and high-pitched neighing. And like as you like make your way down um these stables, you hear a loud crunch, and then another loud crunch through the hay. The feet ploddingly move towards you, and a voice that booms over the rain cuts through like a foghorn cutting through a tempest. Finish what you started, or watch everyone you love, everyone you live for, ripped from your grasp. As Grace steps into the oil lantern of this stable, the light like reflecting off of their like gruesome, hideous, like scaled and like pustulating form, they throw into the hay in front of you just a beat up like soggy envelope. um you shall find that I wrote you a compelling confession, poisoning your dear brother for exposing your secrets, and punishing your father for killing your teacher in one fell swoop. Now that is positively inspired. She pulls out a syringe of this like foaming yellow liquid. Let me make this clear, Lady Williams. I get what I want, or I will watch your world burn.
Let's see. Where is my flying machine?
It is on the Sparrowhawk ship.
Fuck! I didn't take it with me, and you didn't take it.
This is blackmail.
In the distance,
Is there
make
any
a
way? Oh, go ahead.
ask your question first, because this might help.
I was gonna ask if there was any way to run and hide.
Before you do that, make a perception check for me.
Okay. Nat 20 plus 3.
You see that Percy is starting to get up. He's starting to like move towards the house. Following your directions, he trips and makes a loud noise. And Eleanor turns around, clocks him, and like a cheetah, like a panther, just bounds out of the stable. And you see in the distance, she grabs him by the collar and picks him up. Or I will watch the world burn. And she holds up the syringe.
How close am I?
You are make an animal handling check.
Fucking animal. Fucking horses. Please, please. Oh, fuck you. 3.
3. You're about 200 feet away.
200 feet away?
Yeah.
Okay. I can do that with a musket. I'm a sharpshooter. I'm going to use my musket and the action maneuver disarming shot. Expend a grit point to have the object of my choice be pushed 10 feet away.
Oh, no.
And that object, of course, is the syringe.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Come on, baby. Yeah, baby. That's a 28.
That definitely hits. Roll damage.
7.
Another 7 points damage. And then it's a strength save, you said?
You look at it. Disarming shot. Strength saving throw DC 17.
17. Okay. This is a pivotal moment. The Sparrowhawk, as you make this shot, as it connects to the breast of Eleanor Gray, the ammunition pierces the flesh, sinks in like a glob of like greenish black blood, explodes onto Percy's face, and you see coming from the end of your musket more of this static. The outside world around you starts to like move and shake, like it is trying to rend itself apart. Eleanor in this form has a +4 to her strength saves. She has to get a 13, or you see DC was 17, 13 or higher on this roll. In this moment, you see the static around her bolsters her. It like wraps around her, and helps her in some way unknown to you. Okay. With an 18, they drop the syringe and then grab it again, like just narrowly catching it before it hits the ground. They look into the distance, sneer at you. They turn around and in one ginormous leap,
No.
make it to the balcony.
Okay.
And they go inside of Lady Belizabeth's room.
With Percy?
With Percy.
Okay.
Where am I and do I see this?
Make a perception check.
$19.
You are just getting into the stables and you see it. You see it from the perspective. You see Lady Belizabeth standing in front of you, and then the outside of the stables, this beast jumps into her room.
She has Percy. We have to go and help him.
Why are you saying that as though I wouldn't?
I'm right. He just yelled it and he's running away, swearing the whole time.
Okay.
Some
Make
unkind things.
a wisdom saving throw for me.
Got it. $11.
You appear directly behind her again. The same scene happens again. Lady Belizabeth, you do not remember Jonathan moving past you, but you see the the hulking form of Eleanor Gray jump into her room once more.
Fuck.
I run back to the house.
Okay.
I follow.
Okay. Lady Belizabeth, are you going back to your room?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and get Percy.
You make it to the house. Jonathan, the second you leave the stable, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
That one.
That one.
Oh.
You appear back in the same spot, but the Lady Elizabeth is gone. In the moment, and the time it takes for Lady Belizabeth to make it back to her bedchambers, the Sparrowhawk, you catch up. You have seen Jonathan. I don't know how many times you try to do this, but every single time you try to leave the stable, you re-emerge at the back of it. the minute that the Sparrowhawk appears, there are 5 like breaks in reality. They appear in this static, but like concentrated, and they start to shift in their space and grow in their size, expanding, growing almost like pseudo limbs and appendages. And it is like these homunculi of this static, these black and white creatures just appear, blocking both of you from the estate.
What
Lady
happened?
Belizabeth,
What happened? Shit.
you enter your room. Standing in the middle of your bedchamber, Eleanor Gray, with a syringe of yellow liquid, and your brother, Percy, at her feet. Help me, or it gets worse.
I walk over to Percy. I kneel down with him, and without looking at Eleanor, I go, "All right, you won."
What are you thinking about in this moment?
Just hate. How much I hate her. And how powerless I feel.
I think that there was a moment in your life where you've felt this way before. Is that correct?
I mean, not this violently. But it isn't like my father hasn't tried to force my life into a way I didn't want it.
My dear, there are many paths in life that we take, and we don't always know which one is a good one. But we can't turn back, can we? It's a weird, broken memory. But I feel like in moments like these where you have felt helpless, there has been somebody you have turned to.
He's dead. But his son isn't.
What would Joseph want you to do? What would Brendan want you to do? What would they do?
They would find a way to succeed. Though they wouldn't force themselves through it.
They would use cunning.
You kind of feel the weight of that multi-tool at your side. I am glad you came to reason.
Right. Reason. Of course.
Here's
So-
the thing. How do I know? You're not just going to run away after this.
Well. And then I stand up and I look her straight in her monstrous eyes and go, I guess you're just going to have to trust me.
I guess. If you ever want to see your brother again, he'll do the work. And she grabs Percy, throws him over her shoulder, and turns to leave.
If you want me to help you, Percy stays.
That's not the deal.
It is the
You
deal.
get your brother back when you finish.
No. You kill me, you still don't have your formula. So, he stays, I go with you. You trust that that is the way it will be.
This monster takes in a long, raspy breath. Another example it is. And she sticks the needle into Percy's neck.
No,
She throws him at your feet.
And I immediately do. Where is it? Yes. Lesser restoration, bitch. I take the tool. I take, let's see. What can I do? Is the syringe, did she throw the syringe as well?
Yeah, she just dropped it on the floor.
I pick it up. I use my tools to essentially take the remnants of what's inside as an antidote, and I give him that.
Okay, so you cast the second level spell, Lesser Restoration.
It's lesser restoration, and it touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it, and one of those is poisoned.
Can you make a medicine check for me?
Mm-hmm. Great. No, I am not doing that one. I don't like you. Da, 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 da. 16.
So as you bend over Percy, you quickly grab the syringe, make the antivenom, and you stick it back into his body. And you wait. And you know this should work. It'll end. It'll cure the poison, but nothing happens. And you know, yes, absolutely, like this antivenom, the infused with whatever magic that you were able to put in it should have cured anything. But Percy wasn't poisoned. Percy's dead. It was quick. You see the blisters like around the wound on his neck and like the large like pulsing veins leading into his chest. You hear the wind and the rain howling from outside. And you can smell the rotting, odorous Hulk standing in front of you, looming over you. What is next?
I hold on to my brother, cradle him a little bit, not crying, just very calm. And I put him down and I stand up. And I again straight in her face. And I say, you just lost your bargaining chip. And I want to cast. See, what is the one? Will this work inside? How far away is the balcony? It's within 5 feet, right?
Let me give you the exact distance.
Okay.
The balcony is exactly, no, it is about 25 feet from you.
Damn it. Okay, so I'll save that one. Do any of these push them away? That'll work. And I take the syringe again after saying that, and I cast catapult.
Okay. That's a dex save, right?
Yes.
If it flings into you. You fling the syringe directly at Professor Gray, and with a -1 to dex, they roll a 17 on their save.
It was 18, bitch. You get knocked 90 feet off of my balcony. And on top of that, is that it? Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And you only stop when hitting an object, but this is a balcony. You're going to be fucking thrown off. And
oh, wow.
And you take 3d8 of bludgeoning damage from the window of the balcony itself, and then whatever damage you take from the fucking fall, bitch.
Okay, I will say that Professor Gray herself is not an object weighing 1 to 5 pounds.
No,
But
it's the catapult. It's I throw the syringe, and that's what catapults her off.
You can catapult the syringe, and it will deal 3d8 bludgeoning damage to her. But the syringe is the thing that is moving 90 feet in a straight line.
Oh, well then
Yes.
I misinterpreted this.
If you wanted to throw her, that's a 5th level telekinesis spell.
Damn it. Okay. I thought it would be something that like I could throw it at her and it would knock her ass off.
You could definitely that's a lot of damage. You could just kill her.
Well, then yeah, that's what I want to do.
She failed her save. Roll 3d8.
3d8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking bitch.
That's 1, 2. And then, as soon as I do this, I'm gonna fucking bolt.
Well, as soon as you do this, why doesn't everybody roll initiative for me?
There it is. 12. 12 d on 3d8s.
Oh, 12 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
The syringe hits her directly in one of her eyes. And it like sticks into like not just the needle, but like half of the syringe itself, and this like green black blood like cascades down her face. And like she's been shot at, she's been exploded, and she kind of hunkers over, and blood trickles out of her mouth, and then she shakes it off, and she looks up directly at you. And outside, these beings, strange and ethereal, otherworldly, start to move 1 step, 2 steps.
Do I
The
see
rain
these
howls.
ethereal people?
You are locked in combat
Got it.
in the moment. If you want to look out of the balcony, you can do that on your turn.
Well, it's more. It's like, do I glance?
Okay. What did the Sparrowhawk get for her initiative?
22.
Good.
Nice.
Good. I didn't get that.
What'd you get, Jonathan?
I got a 10.
A 10.
Better than mine. I got a 7.
Love that.
I have a +5 to initiative, so
Oh,
I
well, then
rolled a
that
5.
sucked. I only have a +1.
Yeah.
And then Belizabeth got a 7.
7.
Okay. You got a 7, and then oof.
It's too much rolling. I don't like it.
Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna take a little break, and then we'll come back and we'll do combat, and we will start with the Sparrowhawk's turn. But just so that you know where you are, let me pull up your roll 20. This is your view, Laura and Sera, and then this is you, Lady Belizabeth. Okay, we'll start with the Sparrowhawk. We'll be back in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like
8 + 8?
probably, I would love to talk to her. She would love me.
Everyone loves you.
Let's go. Sparrowhawk, you're up first.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right. So you said they're moving forward?
They're slowly like moving forward towards you, yes.
All right. And they're still between me and the lady.
Yes, they are. This house right here is the manor that you're trying to get into. This is this is facing Lady Belizabeth's window.
All right.
Can we see
Okay.
what's going on since we're facing it? Can we kind of see her room?
On your turn,
I'll
if you
look.
want, you
Yeah.
can make a perception check with disadvantage
Okay.
because of the rain and the darkness.
Got it. Cool.
All right. So we're gonna start off aggressively. So bonus action. Cunning action dash to get to number
Ooh.
5 here,
Okay. Okay.
and then pulling out her rapier is going to make an attack upon this number. Was it 5? 5. Yeah, number 5.
Yes, number 5.
And that is a 16 to hit.
A 16 hits.
Yeah, excellent. All right. And with my fancy footwork, being 5 feet from this person and with no one 5 feet from either of us, I get to use my sneak attack bonus since I'm dueling them, which means that the total damage here is 23.
Oh my gosh.
It's always interesting when the GM laughs after you do something.
And what kind of damage is this?
This is piercing.
And what weapon are you using?
A rapier.
Just normal old rapier?
Sadly, I have no magic items.
As it stabs into this form, you feel like this thing being of this story doesn't quite do as much damage as you would hoped. But you still do a massive amount of damage to number 5. Takes 11 points of damage. And are you going to do anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna action surge and attack
Yeah,
again.
you are. Rock and roll. Okay, roll to attack.
17.
17 hits.
Right. And I only get to use sneak attack once per turn, so the damage is only 7.
Oh no. So you action surged. So you will actually get a separate turn. So you
Oh,
can
so
still do sneak attack
I
again.
can use sneak attack. In that
Mhm.
case, the damage is once again 23.
Another 23 points of damage. Halved to 11. Okay. Wow. Great. 22 points overall. You once, twice stab into this spectral, staticky thing, and you see its form kind of like shatter and dissipate as you move your rapier through it. Anything else you would like to do?
Shout out to Jonathan. Come on, Jonathan. They're weak and feeble.
I just am moving real slow. I don't know why. This is weird.
And that's it. That's it. I'm done with my turn.
Okay. After your turn, they're going to make some legendary actions.
Oh boy.
Okay. So, these they're all within 30 feet of each other. Sparrowhawk,
Yes.
make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Absolutely. Hmm, 17.
17. You feel like a sense of duty. Like and Sparrowhawk doesn't feel this, but Sarah, you feel this. You feel like toe the company line, just stop where you are, bow down, but then you shake that off. Like you got a job to do. You got to get rid of these things. This is weird. Um, after their legendary action, G3, Mr. Number 3, is going to move 5, 10. They're going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 to the center. And then they are going to stretch their arms out wide, and all of this static um, extends from them uh, and kind of just like sticks to you. It makes everything like feel like you're moving through jello.
Does
Thanks, I hate it.
does this feel like a spell?
It is a spell. They are casting a spell.
Reaction counter spell.
As they open up their arms, And in a 15-foot radius out from its body, these dark static bits stick around. They are immediately jettisoned back into its body, and it falls to its knees and then slowly starts to stand back up. And that's all it can do. Because Jonathan, now it's your turn.
Oh, great. I am going to how I need to look. I'm looking at too many things. Am I within 60 of the Sparrowhawk? It looks like maybe. I'm going to move enough so that I'm 10, 15, 20, 20. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to call out and give bardic inspiration to the Sparrowhawk. And with that, you will notice just not just a bolstering, but I will also suddenly this little floating orb will appear within 5 feet of you, and this is a mote of potential that I get to do specially when I grant a creature a bardic inspiration die. So
Ooh.
you can choose. You get to choose. If I'm understanding this correctly, let me pull it up. Whenever you utter a note. Oh, because I'm a Song of Inspiration bard. I utter a note from the Song of Creation to create a tiny mote of potential. It is intangible and invulnerable, and it lasts until the bardic die. If the bardic inspiration die is lost, it looks like a musical note, a star, a flower, or some other symbol of art. Sparrowhawk, when you use the bardic inspiration die, the mote provides an additional effect based on whether the die benefits an ability check, an attack roll, or a saving throw as detailed below. So I guess it's not saying that I have to call out which one. So basically, you get extra boosts if you do choose ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. And I can tell you what the benefit is whenever you choose what that is going to be.
Okie dokie.
So yeah, so you got that. That is my bonus action. And then my regular action. I'm going to go for it again. I'm going to step forward. What's my movement? 30. I'm going to stand right here and reach out and cast Shatter. Once again at a second level, just to see how it goes.
Okay.
On Mr. 3, and that's a con save.
On Mr. 3. And not only is it a con save for them, but in a... What does it look like when you cast the spell?
No, I'm just looking at what it is. 10-foot radius. Honestly, I think it's like a piercing scream.
Okay.
Of just that pure like vitriol and frustration. Just like almost goes like Sonic in the way of it, like the multi-tonal.
And like a banshee screaming out into the distance to signify when somebody is going to pass. They get a natural 1 on their saving throw. Jonathan, you also have to make a saving throw,
Okay.
as this sound being so forceful like deafens you just a little bit, hits you.
Got it. I don't pass either, so I will give myself some.
Okay.
I went to
That is
too many loud concerts.
3d8 thunder damage.
Well, luckily I didn't do too much damage. 7.
7. This static specter takes 7 points of damage, and like at its fringes starts to like dissipate.
Okay.
Anything else you would like to do?
Nope, I've done my action, my movement, and my bonus action, so that is it for me.
Okay, at the end of your turn, you notice that like as it like dissipates from your blast, um, you feel like that should have done more.
Okay.
Okay, so it is now after your turn. They are going to take another legendary action, actually, and this static in front of you, Jonathan, is going to reach out to you, and you hear like the wondrous first, like beautiful tonal notes of a recruitment video. Welcome. Thank you for joining the Scheherazade Company. Make a wisdom save.
It's just, God, it's so cheesy. Where do they find the stock footage? Wisdom saving throw. It's 11.
An 11. On an 11, you, Laura, know, hey, let's just take a time out. They're telling us to take a break. It's break time. You bow down, and until the next turn, you cannot take actions or reactions, and your speed is 0. You're taking
Got
a
it.
timeout. You're showing reverence for the company. Towing that company line, Jonathan is incapacitated. That was their legendary action. It is now this first static's turn. They are going to reach out their hands, and they're going to try this one more time. They are going to step into the center right in front of that one, and kind of like joining their form. They reach out their hands, and that static starts to multiply again.
They're so pretty.
Goes out. If you, Jonathan, as you bow, it like feels like you are in jello. These things start to like the static starts to like erode at your character. You can see like not blood but ink start to like cascade like down your arm. Like little droplets start to develop as you are slowly being eaten away. It is now number 5's turn. It is going to step behind Jonathan.
That's number 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. Number 5. They're going to stay where they are, actually. And they're going to touch you, the Sparrowhawk. They reach out their hands. And that is a 10 to hit you.
That does not hit me.
Okay. They reach like right through you, but they are reaching and they can't quite grasp you. It's like you are too far away from them. And then the scene shifts. Belizabeth.
Hmm.
You were standing over Percy. Gray is in front of you, blocking the broken windows. What do you do?
So is he like fully dead, or is it he essentially like in a state of 0 hit points?
He is fully dead. Mechanically, that was purple worm poison. It did 48 points of damage to him, and he has 5 hit points.
Yeah, that would do it. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, because she's at the door. How many these are?
Yes, this is
Bonus
the door right
action.
here.
Magic weapon is a bonus action. Good to know. So what I am gonna do, I'm curious. I doubt it. Just out of curiosity, she's not wearing anything metal, is she?
She is not. No, she's just wearing like torn, like ragged clothing.
Got it. Okay. Well. Hmm. I know what I am going to cast invisible on myself and run out of the room. I want to get to my flying machine. So,
Oh, okay. So you cast invisible on yourself and run out. Make a stealth check for me.
okay.
With advantage, because you're invisible.
Yes, you'll make
True.
it.
Don't forget. Mm, 16.
16. Okay. You leave. Okay, how far do you move?
I only have 30.
Yeah, so you have 30 feet of movement, so you'll move the full 30.
Mhm.
So it'll be just outside of the room, just off the map. Okay. Anything else you would like to do for your turn?
Well, as a bonus action, what did it say I could do? It said I could do magic weapon. What is my magic weapon?
Does that break invisibility though?
Magic weapon would break invisibility, but your weapon is already magic. So
Oh,
it wouldn't
okay.
do anything to it.
Well, then never mind.
Yeah, you got a
Well,
better
then
one too.
I
It
have
would
a
make
better
that
one.
plus one a plus that plus two a
For-
plus one. No.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I want to get a. In the process, I'm trying to think of like what traps I can lay, but in the meantime, it's like the big thing is I need to get to the flying machine.
Okay. Great. And I will say you might want to take everybody else's turn. You haven't prepped any spells. So as an artificer, every single day you can pick new spells.
Oh.
Yeah. And you get to pick up to 8 spells and you get
Oh,
2
yeah.
cantrips.
Yeah, I did that as we were talking earlier because I realized I hadn't picked any.
Oh,
So
okay, great.
I just picked them all. That's how I
I have
had
to refresh
invisibility.
my page. That's great. Love that. Okay. Great. And then you will also get this won't show up on D&D Beyond, but because of your all-purpose tool, you can pick a cantrip from any spell list. So
Yeah.
you'll just have a 4th cantrip that you can use.
That's why I was wondering if I could do Spare the Dying, but apparently not. Yeah. So
No, he died. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Good. Well, after Lady Belizabeth's turn, we are going to switch the screen once more. we see out in the courtyard Jonathan and the Sparrowhawk in deadly combat with Static. They are going to, after Belizabeth's turn, take their third and final legendary action of the turn. And from this space, you see Sparrowhawk, can you roll me a d6?
Sure.
Roll a d6, roll a d6. Na, na, na.
On a D6, I got a 1.
A 1. This spectral copy steps out from this space. We'll mark it with an X.
Mm.
Show that it is different. It is not of. It's like reproduction almost. Some of this static is sloughed off, and another humanoid is formed. After that, it is going to charge. It's going to charge the Sparrowhawk, and it is going to make an attack.
Okay.
It just tries to reach out at you and makes a natural 20 on its withering touch.
Oh, damn it.
No.
Luckily, this thing is like absolutely nothing. You are going to take 24 points of necrotic damage
Okay.
as it just grasps the side of your body. And the Sparrowhawk, you don't feel anything. But Sera, you feel like somebody like grabs your arms like while you are sitting down, and it's just like squeezing you hard, like bruising your arms.
Oh, shit.
Okay. After that, we flash back to sepia tone. And off of the map, Eleanor Gray is going to bound 5, 10, 15, go over you, Lady Belizabeth, and they are going to grab you. Can you make either an acrobatics or an athletics check
How does
to
she
contest
know
this
I'm
grapple?
there? I'm invisible.
I know.
So acrobatics or what?
Or an athletics check.
Okay. 15.
A 15. You are grabbed by the shoulders, still invisible. Then the professor, looking straight through you, lifts you up and takes a big sniff of your form, and then is going to drag you another 20 feet, 5, 10 feet back into the room. You're going to be right there. Another 10 feet back into the room, and that is their turn. Flashing to black and white. We go back outside, where it is now this spectral form's turn. It is going to get in flanking with its other brethren, and they are going to make an attack on you, the Sparrowhawk, with advantage. Hey, I'm so sorry.
That's why I brought the wine.
That is another natural 20.
Oh, God damn it.
I feel so bad.
Do you? Do you
I
though?
feel as he's gritting. It's that
Can you
Like I hate myself.
can you make a Constitution saving throw for me?
hey, and Sarah,
Okay.
you've got that bardic, that motive potential. If you use that bardic for the saving throw, you gain temporary hit points.
You bet your ass I'll use it for the saving throw. All right, what's the die?
What is my die? Bardic. D10.
So that makes it 14 on the saving throw.
14, just enough.
Thank
You
you,
feel like
Bardic.
if you did not save this, Sarah, you would have taken this damage, like you personally, and it would not
shit.
have been able to be healed from your character. You take 52 points of necrotic damage.
Oh god.
And you get 10 temporary hit points.
All right.
So those are used.
But hey,
yeah.
So 42 points essentially of necrotic damage.
yeah.
At the end of its turn, the final ghost is going to, the final specter is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. It's going to move through your space, the Sparrowhawk, and also get in flanking with you with this other little spectral. So we'll have advantage on its attack as well.
Stop it.
Another one? Stop it!
Laura and Sarah quit streaming Rainbow. The ego, the super ego quits.
I just make another Constitution save.
What was the roll?
It was a natural 20.
Vote for fuck's sake.
I can't even look at you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I feel really bad.
Well, I got an 11, so.
Well, permanently unable to heal, you lose 43 more hit points.
Okay, I'm down.
As you hit 0 hit points, you, not the Sparrowhawk, but in a room of stark white, facing a man with a beard eating a chocolate cupcake hastily as he looks over his tablet and monitors vital signs. You throw off this bag and vomit blood all over the floor. As the Sparrowhawk dies instantly as he hits 0 hit points and you fail. She hits 0 hit points and you fail your Constitution saving throw. Fuck.
Yeah, Cam.
Yeah.
The Sparrowhawk falls dead on the floor. And it is now their turn. Sarah, what would you like to do?
I've just vomited onto the floor.
Yes.
And so I look at the doctor and she's like, put me back in.
He drops his cupcake. What happened?
Look, just don't ask questions. Just put me back in fast.
Okay. And that's your turn. You're still in the chair. You sit back down, and he moves towards you. Actually, let me roll initiative. Why don't you roll initiative for him? Sarah, roll me a d20.
Okay.
What's his dex? He doesn't seem like he moves fast.
I'll let
I
you
got
know.
an 18. on
An
the D20.
18. Okay. Well, plus a 0. That means he's next in initiative. he straps you in, puts the bag back over your head, and roll me a D100.
Cool.
I'm gonna send you a stat block.
Wild.
All right. Don't have a D100 on D&D Beyond, so I'm just gonna pull out my D10s here.
Jonathan is just in a daze. Laura is singing along to the jingle music for the recruitment video.
And I
I'm
get a
being dragged
26.
by my hair.
What?
26.
26. Okay. I guess I don't have to send you a stat block. Use the stat block I sent you and Laura earlier as you open your eyes and you are holding Lady Belizabeth. Your hands are hulking and big, and you
You're
feel
fucking
raised
Eleanor right now.
like you need to kill her.
Don't you dare say that. I will.
Oops.
Wild betrayal.
It is now this specter's turn. It is going to move around and get flanking on Jonathan Barrett. It moves like scary, like it goes into the ground and appears just as the setting itself, and with advantage, it gets a 10
To try to hit me?
to try to hit you.
Nah.
Okay.
What? Not a natural 20?
It just no, I rolled 3 of those in a row on you. I'm sorry. And it just like moves
That's it.
and through you. And misses completely, and it's your turn.
I can't do anything though, right?
You can't, but you do come out at the end of your turn of this bowing state, and you feel like
Can I do a perception check to kind of see what's going on, get my bearings, check the Sparrowhawk, do all that?
absolutely make a perception check.
What's up, Sparrowhawk? You good? You good, babe? Babe? This I do well at. Okay. 21.
21. Yes, you see did you make that with the disadvantage?
Oh, I didn't. Hold on. Watch it in that one. No, that was a 4. So 8. Never mind. I didn't see
An
shit.
8. Okay, still, it's raining. It's windy. It's cold, but the Sparrowhawk is dead. That is what you know. You don't know what's happening inside of the house, but you know that these things are here and they have killed the Sparrowhawk.
But the body is still there.
The body is still there, yes,
Okay.
and it's not bleeding at all. Like weirdly enough, like the Sparrowhawk is like down, prone, but is like they're like breathing, but they're dead.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Huh.
Okay. At the end of your turn, Jonathan, they are going to make. Actually, Jonathan, I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
Why can't it be charisma, man? 10. I just really like that jingle, man.
As like this heavy static around you starts to like eat at your form, you take 22 points of necrotic damage. You also feel like as you are in like this heavy static, this will keep happening, and it is difficult terrain in this aura. They are going to take a legendary action. Can you roll a d6 for me?
I sure can. 6.
6.
Not good.
Oh fuck.
Why, Cam?
Because 6 more.
I know what's happening.
Here.
Why are you doing this? Why don't you like us? Is it because we made you go last in the streaming rainbow order?
Mm-hmm.
kicking us off one by one. Where's David?
You are completely surrounded by this static, like like a raging cyclone. It surrounds you and is slowly closing in. Let me mark these all with like a little red dot.
Cool, cool.
After that, it is then their turn.
I'm gonna die.
Jonathan, how many hit points do you have left?
52.
52. You are about to take.
So much damage.
Yes, you are about to take 6 attacks, 7 attacks with advantage.
Okay.
Let me make the small
that
ones.
I'd be the one in the least amount of danger.
I don't know. I could come back as Tarthur and fucking somebody, so we don't know what's gonna happen.
What is your armor class?
15.
Okay, from just the smaller specters alone, you take 72 points of necrotic damage and fall unconscious.
Got it.
As you fall unconscious, you do not take the 7th attack. There is something different about this pain, Lara. It is not of Jonathan. It is like somebody is repeatedly in your chair punching you in the stomach. And you start to like fade and zone out a bit. You see the bag, you see the static, you see the bag, you see the static. It is now these specters' turn. They are just going to spend their turn surrounding you, Jonathan. Knowing the Sparrowhawk is dead, they are just going to wait and hold their turns until you eventually wake up or don't. And I would like you to make a death saving throw.
I'm gonna pick my pretty crystal dice. It's a failure. It's a 7.
A 7. Okay. You're in this bag. Static in the bag. Static. We shift. Sepia tones expand across the vision. And on the screen, Belizabeth, you are grappled. You can use your action to escape, but right now, all that means is you have 0 movement.
Yeah, which really isn't that much of a thing.
And to escape would be another acrobatics or an athletics check.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to move after that.
You would be able to move
Oh,
after, yes.
I
You can
would.
use your action to gain your movement, is what you were trying to do.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to try and do that.
Okay. Right now, Sarah, roll a d20 as you are kind of just like getting used to this space. The consciousness
Oh,
is still
that's
transferred.
true. It's you now. I mean, I don't know that obviously, but
16.
16. Okay.
nope, get back here. Okay, so I have to beat a 16.
You have to beat it 16 plus their modifier.
Which is
Oh, you don't know that. They're very strong, though.
okay.
Sometimes I'll tell you, sometimes I won't.
16 as well, so with the modifier, I guess not.
What is yours with your modifier?
That is with my modifier.
Okay. You are grappled still. You failed this check. They hold steadfast. You still have your bonus action, though.
Yeah, but all I can do with my bonus action is like magic weapon and healing work in like 2-weapon fighting. So all I can do is
So I see that you have taken magic weapon twice.
I don't know why it did that.
Well,
Sometimes
once
it
is
does that.
because of like a special racial trait. It allows you to see it, to pick it in your spell slot.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. No.
So maybe
well,
there is another spell that might be able to help you that you can cast as a bonus action. If you have, oh, you don't have Misty Step.
I don't have Misty Step.
Poopity poop.
I don't. I mean, I can look through and like if you let me like swap it out for Misty Step.
Well, you aren't allowed that.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying.
But you do have a spell called Kinetic Jaunt that you can cast as a bonus action. Now, it won't get you out of grapple, but it will make it a lot easier to get away. Specifically, oh, you won't provoke opportunity attacks.
Oh, that sounds good.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And actually, if you end your turn grappled in this creature's space, you are shunted to the last unoccupied space you occupied, and you will take 1d8 force damage.
Okay.
So there's a cost, but you can escape.
Uh-huh. Oh, so you were looking at kinetic jaunt. Is that what you were
I
looking
was,
for?
yes.
Cool. Thank you. Here's to being a. I should have done that actually. The joys of not being an artificer before, and not quite knowing how it works. Huzzah! Trying to add it while getting rid of the. There it is. Go away. Okay. So I'll add the kinetic jaunt. And since it's a spell, I get a +2, I believe.
You do, but that wouldn't apply in this situation.
It wouldn't apply here. Okay.
Just a
So-
big old buff.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll do my kinetic jaunt.
As you end your turn, as Eleanor Gray grips you tight to their chest,
And she's a noble lady, so she would know dance like steps.
that you do, you appear outside of your room and slam against
The door.
the ground. The ground.
The ground.
It shakes, and you take 1 point of damage.
And once I'm out there, I want to slam the door behind me.
Okay. With a hefty slam, you slam the heavy door, and it is now Gray. You're in this space.
How dare you betray me? I thought we were besties. Where's my
What
money,
you
bitch?
do. There is an inherent need to finish this story as written. But the character is not in control.
Okay. So how can I resist the urge? Is that a roll? Is that
No.
no?
If it is not something you feel needs to be done, you don't have to do it.
All right.
You're a storyteller. This is your job. If you want to push the boundary, you can push the boundary. But you also know that this might be the end of Gray's part of this chapter.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm going to shout, Elizabeth, you were right and I was wrong. I should never have had the hubris of believing that you were the cause of my ruination. That was fate and my own arrogance. I go now, never to return. And I hope that you will find a way to recover from the terrible things that I've done to you. Goodbye now forever.
I don't buy that for a second.
Fair enough.
Can I roll?
What do you do,
persuasion?
Gray? Make a persuasion check. Yeah, you can make insight. I'm gonna say make it with disadvantage though.
So, all right. Disadvantage. Oh boy. Okay. So 6.
Okay. Let that land as it will.
Yeah.
just
And then I
know
will jump out through the glass windows and run out into the wilderness
Okay.
in my shame.
we will end combat there. Gray bursts through the window. You hear the frame of the glass windows just shake as her hulking form bursts through it. In the grass, almost as if they had Gray had got to them first, but like you had missed them before in your haste with Percy. Jonathan lie battered and bruised, as well as the Sparrowhawk, who seemed to have been, as the days go by and they both recover and tell you their stories. Laura, why don't you roll 2 more death saves for me? Just see what happens.
Well, before that, I'm assuming I'm seeing this out of my window, and I just kind of look at it very numb, and I go over to Percy, and I just hold him and cry.
15 and a nat 20.
Okay. And as you're crying next to Percy, Jonathan eventually finds you. It seems like the Sparrowhawk was beaten nearly half to death by a bunch of bandits who stole all of the money from them.
So the carriage isn't there anymore.
No, the carriage isn't there anymore. But they made a little bit more than 25,000 golds. They made like 4 times that much. And though this venture didn't work out, the days pass. The Sparrowhawk heals up. They seem rejuvenated, a little off kilter. But as a thank you for nursing them back to health, they supply you with the money. In fact, they do more than that. They buy the land themselves. And Brendan and his family have a home to come back to. Who do you tell this? Who do you tell of the real story of Percy's death to? Because you have a corroborator. You have Jonathan to back you up.
I guess the people that are there. So it's Jonathan and Sparrowhawk because they're there. They were there.
Well, your whole family is at home as well.
Yeah, but they didn't see anything.
But I'm a trusted family friend who would back you up.
But
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There's a letter in the stables that has gone unread. And in the early morning after that night, it is turned back into the head of the estate, your father and your mother. And it is a confession in your hand, Lady Belizabeth,
She knows my handwriting?
confessing to the murder of your brother, Percival. But that's
Oh.
insane.
I tell Tarthur.
Of course. And eventually Jonathan probably would corroborate your story. But your father is angry and your father is distant. First of all, Jonathan, roll me just a flat persuasion check. Because it's not a flat check, because whatever.
Okay. Persuasion. Not good. Well, it is good because I have a fuck ton of everything for that. 23.
23, Jesus.
I had a 15 to persuasion.
Oh, that's insane. So with the 23, Jonathan kind of smooths things over. Make a charisma saving throw with advantage, Lady Belizabeth.
And because I have my thing. Oh, it's not. 16.
16.
Mhm.
You are definitely not the focus of your father's ire. Even after the funeral, even after the purchase of the woods.
I actually want to give that to Brendan myself.
Okay. Easy enough. Sparrowhawk transfers over the deed to Brendan. And
Oh,
yeah, no, go ahead. What?
just I go to him with the deed in hand, and he's there cobbling or doing whatever it is that he's doing. And at first she's trying to find the words to say, and just I know that nothing I do can change what has happened. And believe me, nothing you say or do to me will be any worse than what I've already done to myself a millionfold. But here is a way for you to get at least some semblance of your home back. I know it will not be the same, but hopefully you can rebuild it. And I take extra of the money that's left. It's like, use this to get that picket fence house that you wanted. Your children can run around in the yard. Beautiful they will be, as they are your progeny, they no doubt will be. And she looks at him in the eyes and goes, I hope you find that wife that deserves you.
because you deserve the stars and the moon. Whereas all I seem to be able to give you is misery. And she begins to walk away.
Oh, lady. Hey.
She stops but doesn't turn around.
That's silly. That's silly. All that you have given me is misery. That's not everything you've given me. That's not even a tenth of it. That's not even a single % of it. No. You have filled me with joy. You have filled me with passion, given me purpose. Sure, I would. Sophie, we would tinker around and make some things, but you gave both of us purpose. And whatever happened to him, that wasn't your fault.
How can you say that? All of this is my fault.
Easy, I say it with my words. There is nothing on this earth that you can control so wholly that you could take responsibility for all of it. Now, that's just silly. He didn't like the match. He didn't tell the secret.
If I had just done what she said, none of this would have happened.
If you would have done what she said, if you would have done everything what that woman said, I don't think I would be standing here right now. In fact, I don't think I would be talking to you right now. No, you make hard choices. But the thing about hard choices is they're usually the right ones. And I got another question for you, another thing for you to think about.
And she turns around to face him, like, what is that?
How do you think Joseph would feel? We never finished this thing. He points to the spot where the flight machine should be.
It's gone.
It's just on a ship.
Right. For a minute in my delirium, I thought maybe Eleanor. I know he would want me to fix it. Which I did. And it worked. Worked beautifully. Over and over again, too. The runes worked perfectly.
Here's the thing. I think we need a project. We set off to do something with this machine. He was supposed to show all those big old people, all those old men with their nose stuck up in the clouds, what you could do. And maybe it has frightened some people in some ships, but we need to show them something big.
What are you thinking?
Well, if the issue was that it couldn't withstand the elements. But why don't we put it in the worst of it and show them that not even the most inclement of weather, not even the most extreme of conditions could stop it, could stop you. Because, lady, hot damn, I believe you could take on the world. Come
I
here.
don't understand.
No, come here.
She gets down to her knees. To his level. And now, like eye to eye, she's kind of like, I don't understand how you can't hate me.
Oh, it's easy. I just love you so much. And he kisses you.
And she kisses him back.
So we're going to jump a little bit. 3 years pass. Here are the things that are going to happen regardless of what you do. Regardless of what you do, Professor Eleanor Gray has been run out of town and is currently wanted for the murder of Lord Percival Williams. No matter what you do, Brendan stays with you. And he is tenacious and loving and supportive and will follow you wherever you go. But that's it. The rest is up to you.
Well, first things first is go to that lab and have it destroyed.
Absolutely. Inch by inch, nail by nail, board by board, it is ripped up. The land is bought. It is paved. It is cleaned.
And I lean into Brendan in regards to what is going to make this spectacular show to prove myself from what I had originally set out to do. A question is, does my father know about this?
Here's the thing. I say, fuck what the old man thinks. You got money now. You got a boat.
That is true.
Take it up to the tippiest top of this world and make that thing fly.
She cups his cheek and is like, I'll take your lead. But in the back of her head, she's still like, I still got to find Eleanor. She needs to pay for what she did. And it's going to be me that does it.
I love it. So the expedition underway takes a long time to prepare, to get ready, to train yourself, because you are not enchanted, but with a little hard work and a little elbow grease
And Joseph's tool.
and Joseph's tool, you start to pave the way. And I don't know, your final chapter is yet unwritten. And then, once again, Sarah, Laura, you are out of the machine. But nobody's there with you. In fact, on the table, there's a half-eaten chocolate cupcake and a folded up piece of paper.
It must have taken off after I vomited blood.
Just I'm weeping. Just like what okay, what happened?
I don't. There's a note. Hold on. What's on the note?
Oh, it's not a note.
What is that?
You open it up, and it is a spell scroll. It sparks with weird static, as if it does not want to be bound here. But as you unroll it, make an Arcana check, Sarah. And this is just a straight roll.
Can I give any kind of help by like looking at it too, or is it just
Yeah, absolutely. How do you give the help action? And well, actually, you just have a +0 to this.
yeah? So it is just like looking over the shoulder and
Mhm.
just trying to read it too.
Okay. All right. So if I get an advantage, let's try.
It's just a straight roll.
Oh,
If I'm
17.
helping,
Hmm?
if I was helping, even though I mean, so I can't really help.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
because we do
so.
that. We do the add the things.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. It's a little
Right.
different helping.
So 17 was my first roll.
Oh,
Anyway.
easily. This is a spell. It's a 6th level spell scroll of planar ally, but it has been altered. Usually, you could call out to like a deity or something other than yourself and ask it to like bring aid of like one of its like followers, or if you know like the true name of a creature, you could summon that. But the first part has just been like completely crossed out, like it's all static, and the only thing that you can see is oh, where is this? If you know, it's the only thing that you can see is if you know a specific creature's name, you can speak that name when you cast the spell to request that creature, though you might get a different creature anyway.
Hmm.
You also see with that high of a roll, down the line there is a casting time on this, but that is crossed out as well, and it is replaced with 24 hours. Not a casting time. Shit.
How long it lasts?
Yes, a duration.
Okay. So you said it's staticky and trying to not be.
Yeah, it looks like it has been like adjusted. Oh, never mind. It doesn't have a duration on it. That was a lie.
Okay.
That was the casting time.
Like
Well, it's
the
been
next-
written in last 24 hours.
Yeah.
The hell is this?
I don't.
Can summon some creature whose name we know?
I don't even know what extra planar mean. I kind of do. It's a little fuzzy. Everything's really fuzzy. God, we should get out of here. Can we take it? Maybe let's try to take it with us.
Yeah. See if I can roll it up and put it in my pants.
Yeah, easy enough. You take it out and you leave for the day.
Okay.
You said you got. What happened? You were kicked out?
Yeah, those things hit me so hard. I was just torn up, like inside of the real me was like blood, and it was bad. And I, but I made him put me back in, and it shoved me into gray.
Oh, gross. Um, yeah, I don't know. I probably wasn't far behind you. I kept phasing. I kept seeing the bag, and then it was this static, and then the bag, and then the static. And honestly, I think the only reason I didn't is maybe because you were gray. Something happened, and it just, it just did that weird blip thing where it just moved on. And I was, we had those weird flashes of like healing and getting better. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't even remember.
You both get a text on your phone at the same time.
That's
It's an unknown number, and it says "Don't go home."
shit.
Glad I don't work there.
Okay.
The next text you get is an address.
It's an address in the tower, or
It is not an address in the tower. It's at the edge of town.
okay. Look, I don't know anything that's going on here, but I think we have to jump at whatever options are presented to us.
We do. I look around. Can I roll a perception to see if we're lost in a
Yeah.
crowd or okay?
Just a straight D20 roll.
19.
19. There's people around you on the streets going to their house, to the spire, to the work. Nothing seems out of the ordinary.
Okay. Do I get the impression with the 19 that anybody's paying particular attention to us?
No.
Okay. I still lower my voice and I say, I kept hearing, I don't know if you felt anything like this, but I kept hearing that fucking recruitment video.
Ugh.
And I felt like I couldn't do anything because it would fuck up the job. So yeah, I'm cool with taking a walk.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a little walk to the address that we were given.
The small shack that you come to is almost the size of a porta potty. And as you enter it, it is simply a set of stairs. Not a set of stairs, staircase leading down to a door of rotting wood that creaks when you open it. In this 10 by 10 room, lit by a single hanging light bulb, there is a machine in the shape of an egg. Dangling from it above a seat is a black bag of vinyl, shiny. This bookmarker sits alone next to a table. On the table, it's a simple piece of paper. On the paper, it says, "I think it's about time you call your friend." Signed, the editor.
I think we should call the editor. I motioned to the scroll in her pocket. Or her friend? Our friend? The editor, is the editor our friend?
Wait, what if they mean? What if they
Elizabeth?
mean Belizabeth?
I don't know if she likes me. You kind of missed this part. I'm kind of fucking her brother.
Okay, cool.
Weird.
She knows that.
Yeah, everyone knew that. But no, I think if they sang our friend, that's got to be who they mean. Who
Yeah.
else have we been
Yeah.
bonding
She's
with?
it. I guess give that a try.
All right. I'll take out the scroll, start reading it, and
Try and get my name right.
I have it written down on a scrap of paper.
summon the Lady Belizabeth. etc.
Matilda Catherine Anna Linda Williams III.
Yes, that's the one.
As you chant her name, Lady Belizabeth, the room you find yourself in is strange to say the least. The mechanism you face is more advanced than anything you have seen before. And the two people in this room with you, well, we'll save that for another time. That's where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you all for joining us.
Made me cry a third time in a row. I'm just
Every
pointing that
every
out.
session, all of it.
Hey,
Every
that's what I'm
session.
here for. You are all amazing. Thank you all for joining us. Remember to like, subscribe, join that Discord, follow us on that TikTok, that Instagram. It's so much easier 3 hours later. Have a great night, everybody. Bye, kiddos.
Bye-bye.